All right, so we're going to work on finding a reference picture for your flower project. And we're taking our flower project, we're taking inspiration from Georgia O'Keeffe, really well known artist who was known for these gigantic paintings she did of flowers. And she really closed in on them and painted it up real close, which was something that wasn't really done before. Usually we see flowers nice and small, but these were huge. So we're going to choose some pictures of flowers and use them and make a beautiful oil pastel painting. So I want to give you some helpful stuff so you can find a good picture and crop it well and do all that good stuff. So something that we will use is, here we go. We're eventually going to use a grid to help us draw our flower more accurately. So in our beautiful modules in Canvas, you're going to see this thing here that says flower grid, make a copy. And if you open that up and then you click that button, and my computer's thinking and it's going to come along, and there it is. Okay, so what I want you to do is first go to File, make a copy, so you have your own and you can write your name in there. Okay, Francis, I don't know. There you go. Make a copy so you have your own. And it goes right to your Google Drive. Wonderful. Okay, so we got that set aside for us. And what we'll do now is I would like you to use this gorgeous website called Pexels.com. And this is a website that provides free, high quality photos that are shared by like professional photographers pretty much, and they're free to use and you won't get sued for using somebody else's picture. So it's nice and safe, and basically you could look up pictures of anything on here and see what you can find, but we'll look up flowers. And for example, if there's a specific flower that you really like, just type in the name of that flower and you'll get a lot of different gorgeous pictures of that flower. Okay, and another one is my godmother loves pansies. So there we go. All right, I'm getting some good pictures of some pansies. All right. For now, I'm just going to look up flower. If you can be specific about what flower you would like to try out. Oh, here's another one, orchid. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, lots of different pictures. But for now, I'll just look up just plain old flower. Okay. And we want to be aware of some things. First of all, we don't need any people in these pictures. So let's skip the people. And then we want to think about, hey, I'm going to have to draw and color match this thing. So, and we're keeping with the Georgia O'Keeffe motif, which is one or two or three flowers, and we really, really draw them big and like they take up most of the space in the picture. So, looking at something like this is not going to work for us because this is a bunch of little flowers really far away. We want to find flowers that are bigger in the picture. And then if we want to crop down that picture, we can, and I'll show you what I mean. So there's a lot of gorgeous pictures here. This is a lot of too many flowers, same thing over here and here, too many flowers, okay? And then this is a very pretty picture. And there are plenty of yellow flowers on here, but like a pure yellow flower, what did I tell you guys? I told you guys that yellow is the hardest color to work with. So I really don't recommend too much of your yellow or like beige kind of flowers. You might be giving yourself a really hard time. But I did see a picture I like over here. Okay, so this is a gorgeous picture of, I believe, some water lilies. And maybe I don't want to like have to draw and basically color match this entire thing because it almost looks like four flowers. But I really like this picture, so I'm going to think ahead. I can crop this down so that I just focus on maybe one flower or one or two. So what I'll do is I'm just going to copy the image, do a little right click, whatever you got to do, copy that image. And then I'm going to go over to that grid that we had and I'm going to paste it. Okay. And right here, I'm going to use my crop tool. Okay. And I just want to really hone in on one of these flowers. Okay. And maybe I'll crop it down a little bit more from the top. and I hit enter, and I've cropped this down, and this is a really pretty picture now. But I want it to fill into this grid as much as I can, because this grid is going to basically match the proportions of the big paper that I give you, and I want to fill up that space as much as possible. So what I'll do is I will toggle this thing just like that. I rotate it, and then I'm going to try and fill it in as much as I can. And you know what? It didn't fill in the grid completely, but it's mostly filled in, and I'm okay with that. So what I want to do next is I'm just going to, I'm missing those grid lines. Those grid lines are going to help me draw. These grid lines will match the grid lines we put on our rough draft paper. So what I'm going to do, last thing, I'm going to click my picture, and then I'm going to go to Arrange, Order, Send to Back. And now I have this picture with grid lines on it that will match the grid lines on my rough draft paper, and that'll make it a little easier for you to draw. Okay, and why don't we do one more? There we go. We'll find one more picture. Let's go back over to Tulip. I think that was pretty. Okay. So again, we're thinking ahead of what we need to do for this picture. I'm going to recommend not having just a plain background like that. Something like over here is nicer. Okay. And again, I don't want a picture of a bunch of little flowers. I really want to focus on like 1 or 2 or 3 flowers. And then I'm just going to keep scrolling until I see something like, I know I really like this picture, but again, it's mostly yellow. Yellow is really hard to deal with. So let's see until I find one that I really like. I think this one is quite pretty. I think this one is also very pretty. We'll go with this one. Okay. I'm going to copy my image, give a little right click, copy my image. I'm going to go over to the grid that I got. Okay. And remember, we want the flower to fill up most of the space. So mostly the background is filling up the space. So I'm going to crop this down. Okay. And let's see how we do now. Let's drag this, let's move it, let's stretch it out. And it's filling up most of the grid, which makes me happy. And I'm honing in on 2 or 3 flowers nice and close up. I can even crop it down a little bit more if I want to, but I actually like it like this. I've got a nice fuzzy background. It looks pretty. And then the only thing that's missing is my grid line. So I'm going to click my picture, Arrange, Order, Send to Back. And now I can look at my grid on my paper and draw my flowers and match it to the grid here. And that will be the beginning of my flower project. So now it's your turn. Good luck.